Here's what I'm worried about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm worried about their long-term viability because Lane Johnson's hurt and Avonte Maddox is hurt and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is hurt. Those are three really important guys in stopping the pass and stopping the pass rush and blowing open the holes on offense. It looks like Jalen Hurts is going to play this weekend. He's going to put on the cape. He's going to come back, in my mind, beat a Giants team that might not start a lot of guys, rest some guys. They've got the proverbial nothing to play for. They're locked in the 6th seed. They're not going to be the 7. And they can't be the 5. That's it. You're locked in on the 6. You can't improve anything. You can just keep your momentum going. Does Daniel Jones start and then get pulled? Does Tyrod Taylor start? By the way, if Tyrod Taylor starts, it'll be the 65th different starting quarterback in the NFL this year, which is a single-season record. Keep your mind's eye on that. I think Jalen Hurts comes back. He wins the game. He puts on the cape. He wins the game. The Eagles get the 1 seed. I think Hurts then cements the MVP award because the last 2 weeks pour one out for the Jalen isn't as valuable to his team as, say, Allen and Mahomes is to their team's crowd, whether they live in Philadelphia or lurk in our business. Minshew played really well against Dallas, man. Those 2 picks were crushers. The turnovers were crushers. Dallas performed well. Dallas did what it needed to do. And then on Thursday night, I posted this video on Friday. I just said that their inconsistency drives me crazy. It just does. Where they'll beat the tar out of the Vikings. They will beat the ever-loving tar out of the Vikings and then play down to the level of opponents. They play down to the level of opponents way too often for my taste and liking. And I'm concerned for them going into Tampa, as it's likely they will be doing in Week 19. If Joshua Dobbs is making throws in his first career start to Traylon Burks, what's Brady going to do with Mike Evans? And I understand it's kind of unfair to apply this standard to the Cowboys and not say to the Eagles where they're playing down to their opponent. But the Cowboys are essentially full strength. I know Tony Pollard was hurt.
I mean, you could say the same thing about the Niners then, too.
Absolutely. The Niners did not play well defensively yesterday either. And that would concern me going in. But I think Dallas is absolutely talented enough to win the Super Bowl this year. There's no doubt in my mind. What do you need? You need a quarterback who can make the throws and be great with his legs and his arm. You need a running game. You need difference makers at receiver. You need an offensive line that's healthy and can pass protect and run block. You need a defensive line that can go hunt. You need playmakers in the secondary. You need playmakers at all levels. You need a kicker who can make kicks. I just described the Dallas Cowboys, didn't I? Right? So
there's always a but there, though.
So no,
not from you. I'm just saying with us.
The but. Many people say it's the coach. It's Mike McCarthy. Or but is that they play down to their level of opponent, and maybe you don't have to worry about that in the playoffs because the level of opponent is pretty damn good.
That's a good point.
And so you don't have to worry about that. But the Eagles concern me about where they're hurt and where they're going to be able to get healthy, and it appears Jalen Hurts is going to be healthy enough to play the final game. And I think that's a great idea. If he can go, he's got to go. Put him out there, seal the deal, let him win MVP, let him do his thing for the first couple quarters. Unfortunately, sometimes for the Eagles, it takes a half for them to do that.
Do you think he'll win MVP if he plays?
If he plays and he clinches the 1 seed after what we just saw yesterday against the New Orleans Saints?
I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
He would get my vote.
I'm thinking Mahomes
is minus 650 to win MVP right now. That's as much as a lock as there ever is.
This is the problem with the MVP voting, is that it's sort of like arbitration in baseball where you need to nitpick against somebody who's supremely talented and deserves all the accolades and the money that you need to nitpick. The last month for the Chiefs has been a grind, man.
But
Offensively,
they've won the games, though, because of him.
But they have been a grind.
Well, he can't play defense.
It's been a grind on offense, pal. I mean, it's been a grind on offense against Houston, against Denver, teams that they should be curb stomping. Certainly in Arrowhead. But I guess you could say week 17s are crazy, like Dallas needing all 4 quarters to finally put the Titans to bed, and what we saw in Las Vegas yesterday and what we saw in Philadelphia. But Hurts needs to come back. He needs to be healthy. Lane Johnson, Eagles got to get him back, man.
Can we just change that award to just like, what do you think, Chris, quarterback of the year? Because they're the only ones that ever win it anyway.
Well, who else could win it right now?
Quarterback is the most valuable.
Justin Jefferson had a hell of a year up until last.
Had one bad game all year. Nick Bosa, who has been Nick Bosa just been dominant.
Nick Bosa is defensive player of the year.
He's going to be defensive player of the year. That's his award.
I mean,
but he could be MVP.
Nick Bosa called game yesterday. Overtime.
Did you see it?
Overtime. Stidham is moving the ball. He fades back to pass and gets his left tackle thrown in his lap because Nick Bosa treated the left tackle like a tackling sled, like you would see at the combine or whatever, and he just shoved him right into Stidham, who couldn't follow through. Ball goes in the air, interception, game over. You know, it winds up inside the red zone, and they just basically reposition the ball for Robbie Gould, who probably in his wildest dreams didn't think he would have a chance to win the game after he missed to force overtime so quickly. I mean,
Rich, one thing
Nick Bosa is out of his skull, and to me, he's defensive player of the year.
One thing you missed about
Hurts
Bosa
is my MVP.
Was after he pushed the tackle instead of made the throw. If you watch the replay, Chris, just like when D Wade threw that lob to LeBron and kind of, you watch the replay, you can see Nick Bosa has his arms in the air like he sees the ball.
Yeah,
and he's just like, what are these guys? And he's just like throws his hand up. It was an amazing picture. And then the ball did get intercepted.
Yes.
That's why I thought you meant he was calling game.
No, he called
because he was just like
he called game because he just said I'm gonna throw my blocker into the quarterback and create a turnover. I mean,
but yeah, his reaction after, if you haven't seen the picture, look at that.
So I'm concerned about the Eagles. You know, if they need to win a playoff game, that they're too hurt, and we'll see if Hurts can be Hurts and not be hurt. You know what I'm saying? But Dallas can win it all too. Niners can win it all.
It's wide open, man.
The 1 seed is wide open.
Honestly, don't know.
This is going to be fun.
I mean, the 1 seed is simple for the NFC. Philadelphia gets Jalen Hurts back. Let's cut the nonsense here. Wrap up this division and wrap up this conference and get it done. That's it. If somehow, some way they don't. And we don't know. We will not know till later on, I believe tonight. I think the NFL is waiting to let you know who plays who when on Sunday. I think the Bills and Bengals result really plays into that. So I think they're going to hold their powder for the moment. But San Francisco will probably take the field knowing that Philadelphia has won or lost. I imagine this is going to be an early game, Philadelphia, unless they put unless the league puts Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Dallas on the field at the same time. It's going to have to be a late window because San Francisco is playing on the West Coast against Arizona. So if Philadelphia wins, it's over. If Philadelphia loses and San Francisco beats Arizona, it's over. San Francisco is the 1 seed. And if both of them lose and Dallas beats Washington, then Dallas is the 1 seed. That's the way it works. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.